Hello, welcome back to algebra. We're almost to the end of the road with this topic of solving these fractional equations, right? And we're doing so many of them because, to be honest with you, they flex a lot of your skills. They flex a lot of your algebra muscles, so to speak. You have to know how to factor. You have to know how to deal with fractions. You have to know how to cancel and clear denominators. So it's a lot about factoring and canceling, right? Then you need to know how to combine like terms on both sides. You need to usually factor the answer, solve that polynomial at the end to get the solutions that you have, usually two solutions, sometimes one solution. And then you have to check and see if it's extraneous. So there's a lot of skills, and it's very important that you master them. So in this lesson, we're going to have 3 problems. They're good, I think, hard level of difficulty. And in the next lesson, we'll wrap it up with just 2 problems that'll be basically super challenging. And that's mostly just to give you a taste of what a really, really hard problem would look like. These are very commonly the type of difficulty problems you would see on an exam. So we want to make sure you understand what to do. What if we have 2 over x minus 1 minus x over x plus 3 equals 6 over x squared plus 2x minus 3. So you do the same thing we always do. We want to clear denominator. So we know we have to multiply by x minus 1. We know we have to multiply by x plus 3. And typically, if we weren't thinking too hard about it, we also know that we would have to multiply by this entire term. However, we always want to factor any polynomials first just to see what the factored form is. So in the next step, what we're going to do is write 2 over x minus 1 minus x over x plus 3. And on the right-hand side, we'll write it as 6 over, and we're going to go ahead and factor this expression right here. All right? And here we have an x times an x to give us an x squared. 3 can only be written as 3 times 1, or 1 times 3. And so you have to have this as a plus minus to make the signs work out. X times x is x squared. This is 3x. This is negative x. You add those, you get 2x. And then you have the negative 3. And you can see by factoring it that this part of the denominator is exactly what this is, and this part of the denominator is exactly what this is. So we don't want to multiply by this, this, and this. That would be redundant. We just multiply by the x minus 1 and the x plus 3. So on the left-hand side, we just go ahead and wrap the whole thing out here, and we say we're going to multiply by x minus 1 and also times x plus 3. On the right-hand side, we say that we're going to multiply by x minus 1 and then see if I can fit it, x plus 3. Sorry if that's a little hard to read, but essentially that's what we're multiplying by over here on the right-hand side. Left-hand side, right-hand side. So we have 2 terms in here, so this entire quantity needs to be distributed in. So we will have, just like we always do, x minus 1, x plus 3. We'll write it as quantity over 1 multiplied by this first fraction, 2 over x minus 1. Then we have a minus sign, same quantity multiplied in times this, x minus 1, x plus 3. Quantity over 1 times the x over x plus 3. Like this. All right? And on the right-hand side, I could just rewrite the entire thing over again, but what you're going to see is I can see it easily that you have this over 1, it's going to be multiplied. So the x minus 1 here, just to save a little space, will cancel with the x minus 1. The x plus 3 will cancel with the x plus 3 that's over there. So really all you're left with on the right-hand side is just the 6. And then continuing through here, we have the x plus 3 canceling with the x plus 3. There's an implied parentheses, x minus 1 cancels there. And at the end of the day, we should have nothing in the denominator other